going on down here. Okay, so aside from these little 545 that have been authorized to use force if they need to, well, we got 700,000 South Americans that have been paid to fly here, paid on a bus to come up here and then walk the rest of the way to make it look like they've made a long trek. And they have started so much hell in Mexico this whole time. They have, intimidated the citizens, threatened them. They're the ones that started the fire. They started riots in Tijuana. Like, this whole time, they've been throwing a fit about not being let in, about it taking too long. All this time, like, they've started all kinds of shit. I can't even count how many fucking chaotic situations we've had at the border. And I'll go to hell if Biden didn't just piss off the whole 700,000. Y'all better buckle up. If you're in Texas, y'all better buckle the fuck up, because we got cartel war. They just busted one of their, killed 3 of them. Like, oh my goodness. I'll try to squeeze it all in. I hope my Texas folks see this. If y'all don't think this is an intentional urban warfare, like the race war on America to take us all out, y'all better wake the fuck up, because that's exactly what is totally being played out down here. It is fixing to go all to hell. All these desperate people that feel entitled and told to come here, all of a sudden, there's a loophole.
The answer is it remains to be seen. We've gotten overwhelming cooperation from Mexico. We also are in the process of setting up offices in Colombia and other places where or someone seeking asylum can go first. But it remains to be seen. It's going to be chaotic for a while.
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel abroad, lift up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Real quick, man, this is regarding Title 42, which is set to expire, I believe, this evening, which is, May the 11th. Title 42 was provisions that Trump had put in place during the time of the scandemic to seal off the borders from immigrants that may be coming over with infectious diseases and so forth. They're set to lift the restrictions of that today. Now, if I was reading this correctly, then allegedly I believe the Biden administration wants to reestablish it some way, somehow, because usually when Title 42 resolves or it lifts, they can come over here and they have to claim asylum. And then that way they would be placed in certain neighborhoods and seeking asylum, shelter, camps. And they're allotted to work release programs and so forth like that until they're able to get the proper paperwork and documentation to live as U.S. citizens, man. Okay, but see what's been going around, even on Redacted, which I haven't really watched the full interview of that. But Redacted was basically going into how the government is funding these programs, is funding these invasions of America, of these countries. A lot of these people that you see here, they didn't walk up from Venezuela. They didn't come from Tijuana. They didn't walk. They were actually transported over here to the border. Okay, there's been several eyewitness accounts of the government bringing caravans of people or immigrants to the border to start chaos, riots, what is it, the stabling of the infrastructure and so forth. I can't even pronounce the word, man. Destabilization, if I'm saying it correct. But regardless of that, basically they're allowing these people to come over here because, like we said, man, there's going to be a foreign military that's going to harbor the streets of Babylon, and that's all going to be paid through the U.S. government, man. Okay, and I believe that some of these people that's seeking asylum, they're sleeper cells, because we've already spoke about how China, how they already in the back door of America, how they own 95% of this world's America's economy because they so indebted to China. Sleeper cells, man, you know, particular UN troops. This place has already been invaded, man. And it's just a matter of time when hell break loose, they're going to deploy these people, because report came out that a lot of these immigrants, they're in their mid-20s, early 30s, and they're pretty much men bred for war. Like a lot of the shootings, allegedly these illegal detainees who they're catching, shooting people in neighborhoods, shooting innocent people, causing riots and shit, that's all set up by design, man. Okay, because like I said, Esau, he's going to have a counter police force that's going to be police in the streets of America. So these are the people here that are going to set up in these particular cities, and they're going to cause all types of ruckus, man. Okay, and those are these particular immigrants that's looking to sustain their lives legitimately in America. A lot of them, they're just being set up for the slaughter, man. Most of them are Israelites. A lot of them are being set up for the slaughter. A lot of them expected to come over here, find jobs, you know, get welfare, whatever, you know, raise their families, work a 9 to 5, a factory job, making X amount of dollars. But a lot of you were just brought over here to be straight up set up and slaughtered, because it came out as well that a lot of these particular immigrants that's coming over here, pretty much by design, they have infectious diseases. They have TB, we know what that means, tuberculosis. You know, they have all these particular illnesses that they're allowing over here in the United States. And that's going to cause more chaos, more ruckus, more riots, okay, more armed conflicts, more robberies. And when they can't find jobs and seek the asylum that they're looking to seek, they're going to start taking it out on you Babylonians, man, which is going to lead to all types of skirmishes. So I got another video I want to play, and then I got a couple of precepts, nothing too deep. As I say, I've looked into it, and what I know is what I'm reiterating to the congregation, but I don't have a thorough analysis on everything that's going down, because honestly speaking, I haven't been really focused on this border crisis. There's been too much going on, but the information I do have has been solidified through different brothers' resources, and we're getting it from the horse's mouth. Okay, a lot of times people like to challenge our resources because where you get that from? Well, it wasn't from mainstream media, if you're asking, because anything at this point mainstream is questionable by far. Okay, so if you come up with a mainstream media narrative, don't even come on this comment board. We're not even dealing with that. All right, so here we go.
Diego through Yuma to Tucson, and they are told that there's between 700,000 and 1 million people massing south of the border, that when Title 42 goes away, the cartels have planned to overwhelm the system. They're going to just take pictures. They're not even going to do full-on processing. They're going to take pictures. If we're lucky, fingerprints, probably not even that. And then they're going to release them right into the local communities along the border. It will be unlike anything we've ever seen. And basically, the word that the locals are getting is, and I hate to use this term, but this is what they said was they were actually told by CBP officials is, I'm sorry, you're screwed. And the problem with it is CBP agents and their families, their support system, they all live in these communities. They know how bad it's going to be, but this administration is not going to back them up, not going to help them. It's going to be overwhelming, Steve. Diego.
With the world on the brink of World War III, the dollar collapsing, digital money and IDs, new passports, new rules, a new world order. You might look at this and think Brazil, Venezuela, Argentina. You might think third world nation. You might think that this has to be somewhere else. But this is El Paso, Texas. May 2023. Military-aged males crossing in greater numbers than we've ever seen. And what do you think they're going to do when they can't find work? God bless.
So they setting this whole thing up, man, while people are playing games. It's getting ready to be a civil war out here. Okay, you red-blooded Americans, man. And this is your time. You hate people of color. You wanted to shoot down some what you call wetbacks and tontos and spixes, spickaroo, whatever the hell you want to call them. Then this is your chance to your time to get even with Jake, man. Okay, because these illegals, alleged illegals, because honestly, they do have right to this land because Esau stole it from them. But according to Esau, these immigrants, I say it that way, they're coming over to take your shit, man. Okay, and like I said, a lot of these are sleeper cells. A lot of them are militarily trained. See, we know that the United States, they're good for setting up counter operations in order to dictate their agenda. Like we call them the ISIS, which we refer to them as the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, which is what they really are. We know that they were set up by the JOO, okay, and you're going back into the rebels and so forth. ISIL, ISIL, all these particular militant-backed organizations through the West. This is no different, man. Okay, so this is the book of Jeremiah 30, and I'm gonna start at 4. It says, "And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, which is all 12 tribes." It says, "For thus says Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear, not of peace," man. Okay, and Jacob's trouble. Let's get this straight. It's not gonna just be circumvented to you, Jakes. The whole world is gonna feel this event, but you Israelites are gonna be the primary recipient of Esau's extermination squads, man. Okay, because it's not going to be anything to lump them up with you. That's going to be his justified means is just going all out crazy on the tribes, man. You see what I'm saying? And Jake don't know what the hell is going on. You know, Jake is still in La La Land, man. You know, thinking that a greater America awaits. No, this place is through. And it says, "For thus says the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear, and not of peace. And ask ye now, and see whether men doth travail with child." So basically, he's saying like, damn, since when men have babies? Because usually when women, they're going through labor pains, etc., you know, they're crunched up in the fetal position, if they can get in that position from the cramps and so forth. You know, a lot of times when you're getting ready to go into birth, you know, you feel contractions. The shit hurts. I witnessed it because, you know, I got a kid and I've witnessed the birth. You know, I witnessed the contractions and feeling like the baby is getting ready to come. I've witnessed it all. You know, and those of you brothers that have children, you know what I'm speaking about. But he said, whether the men doth travail with child, because men are going to be reduced to mere women out here. All you tough guys out there, man, you jiu-jitsu practitioner Edomites that set up and learn that art to beat up Jake, you're going to be like women in that day. And all that practitioner of jiu-jitsu ain't going to get you nowhere, especially if you're using it for nefarious purposes, okay? Not knocking brothers that do it because, you know, we understand it's a benefit for us, but you wicked Jakes out there and you wicked Edomites, that ain't gonna benefit you, man. Okay, you're gonna be straight up just mauled down like the dogs you are. And it says here, "I'm not of peace, and ask ye now whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces turn into paleness." You know, and it's going into paleness because of the fright, okay, the sickness, the amount of death, the fear. You know, people are going to literally, scriptures say that men's eyes fell on them of fear from what's coming on earth. So we getting ready to see some gruesome shit, brothers. You think we in bad times now? This is getting ready to get real ugly, man. All right. And we got to really be in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because this is like a turbulent, this is like almost like if you brothers ever seen those mechanical bulls, like how aggressive that bull get, and eventually it throw you off. We going to have to hold on to the bull, man. Because you don't hold on to the bull, you're going to get tossed off that ride like that. So we got to be on point, man, and everything. Now, it ain't the time to be defecting and going left and joining, you know, going just left because we feel like it. Nah, man, we got to be locked in, you know, because it's getting ready to get bad. Brothers are getting ready to be separated from their families, their women and kids, man. Brothers in camps, man. You know, certain brothers going to link up and do what they do, however the Lord has it. But for the most part, man, brothers going to be out here on their own, you know, straight up, man. Like if you see a brother, man, and you want to run and you know he's in the right spirit, that's gonna be like finding a needle in a haystack. That's gonna be like, oh shit, you know. And the Lord will have that. I know that certain brothers are gonna link up and fight this thing together, but for the most part, man, most of us, we're gonna be on our own. It's gonna be you and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, and that's it. Ain't no guarantee you're gonna be able to go up the street and, hey brother, Jacob's trouble started, let's run. Hell nah, you ain't thinking of that. You thinking about getting the hell out of Dodge, man, while you can. And the Lord is with that brother, and think you could pray, you know. But it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. And he is talking about the remnant, the election of our people, because we know that the 2/3 are going to get caught up in the judgment that the Most High has set before them. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel 23, and I'm going to start at verses 23. It says, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Peacock, Shoah, and Koa, which I like to use this as the UN scripture. It says, and all the Assyrians with them. This is talking about a foreign military. It says, all of them desirable young men. And they said that those men were the age of 20 and I believe up. And one thing about the UN, man, the UN, United Nations, they're just a plethora of nations coming together to fight for a cause. They call them the peacekeepers, which peace is the farthest thing from peace is the farthest thing of them or from their what they're trying to conduct. Okay, they're not keeping peace. If anything, they're bringing more hatred and more anger and more death. Okay, peace is far from what they're keeping. I'll say it that way. It says, and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men, captors and rulers, great lords and renown, all of them riding upon horses, which is military. Okay, equipment. When the UN comes over with the UN, I believe they're already here. I believe a lot of them guys that they letting cross the border may be some form of UN troops too. Sleeper cells, they're already here. You know what I'm saying? They're already here. Americans already have underground bunkers. You think they can just hide the vehicles in plain sight? You know, there's video footage is out there of tanks being exported over here. Okay. And it says here, and they should come against thee with chariots and wagons and wheels, and with the assembly of people, which is set against thee buckler, shield, and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments, man. And I will set my jealousy against thee, and this is talking about our people. And they should deal furiously with thee, and they should take away thy nose and thy ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword. And they should take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue should be devoured by fire. Okay, because we know that the missiles is going to hit this place eventually. But it says, and they shall also strip thee out of thy clothes, and take away thy fair jewels. And thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom bought from the land of Egypt, which is Egypt is America. It says, so that thou shalt not lift up thy eyes to them, nor remember Egypt anymore, man, because the Most High is getting ready to plead with all flesh, man. Okay, this is going to be a war that's fought on every side, from nuclear war to civil war to proxy wars to economic downturns, man, food riots, food shortages. It's getting ready to be a freaking bloodbath out here. But what is Jake doing? Playing games, man. It's getting ready to get scary. All right. It's this book of Luke 12:49. This is the book of Luke 12. Now I'm going to start at verses 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? Okay. That's the point. It says, but I have the baptism to be baptized with. And how and I am straight until it be accomplished, man. And you go into straits, that goes into difficulties. It says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, but I tell ye nay, but rather division. For henceforth there should be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. And the father should be divided against the son, and the son against the father, and the mother against the mother, mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And that's the point, division. Okay, families are breaking up, all types of shit. So, yeah, it's getting ready to get real dark out here. And we're seeing it. We're seeing a storm approach, and this is why we're warning our people. We're telling them, like, look, bro, Esau has got some nefarious shit going on. Riots, chaos, wars. Right here, 2nd Esdras 9, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, then thou shalt understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. This is the Lord's judgment. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. And what happens if Title 42 expire? Okay, because even if they do reinstate it, they're gonna still be certain people that they're gonna allow over here to seek asylum, and the ones that they're gonna seek asylum for, they're gonna be the ones that's gonna set up in these communities and cause all types of mishaps, man. Cartels, which a lot of them are just set up by the government anyway. Basically, sicarios, man, which is basically another way of saying assassin. Okay, and it says here, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, man. Okay. It says, and everyone that should be saved and should be able to be escaped by his works and by faith and whereby you have believed, because it's a sense of belief. You have to be moved by a strong conviction of belief. Okay, you're gonna have to be convicted in your belief systems, man. You're gonna have to be solidified in your Yahweh Shai in order to really survive, man. Because it's gonna be things that's gonna be thrown at us to shake our faith, bro. It ain't gonna be no easy walk, okay? Though the Lord has already directed our paths, but us as men in the Lord, we're walking into this blindly, man, because we don't know if we're gonna make it. But we have hope and we have faith that we will. Okay, you just gotta hope that the Lord has laid your foundation and no stumbling blocks in your path, man. Because if you stumble and you fall and you slip, you out of there. And we're seeing it now. Guys are falling out left and right, man. Guys are stumbling over their own vomit, putting their foot in the mouth. It's getting, man, it's getting scary. You know? And it says here, and should be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me in the beginning. Okay? Then they should be in pitiful case, which have now abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully should dwell in torments. Okay, so you 2/3, it's over with for you, man. You Edomites, it's over with for you. You other nations, you still on the shores of America, it is over with for you, man. You can forget about it. All right, going into the Russians, Ezekiel 38, and I'm gonna come at verses 8. It says, and after many days thou shalt be visited, and a lot of years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, okay, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste. But it is so forth out of the nation that they should dwell safely on all of them. Then thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. And it says, thus says the Lord Yahweh, should come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages. That's talking about America, man. Okay, when these Russians, these foreign troops invade, it says, and I will go to them that are at rest. And that's you, Babylon, you Americans, you are at rest, man. That dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, and to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and good that dwell in the midst of the land, man. So, hey, judgment is set against this place. It's called the land of unwalled villages because America doesn't have walls. You have borders, but you don't have walls, man. So, I mean, that's clear as day. But I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem B'Kai Kodash. And with that, Shalom and a Baba Shalom.